I might go somewhere because somebody needs to see this. The face is eating. What's up? Welcome back to my channel. If you are new here, my name is Faye, and for today's video I am bringing you guys some fall inspiration, honey. So I have been reviewing a lot of new products recently, so I figured today I would pull some of those products that I have reviewed as well as some new ones that I wanted to try out and just kind of chit chat with you guys a little bit, playing a little bit of makeup, give y'all some fall inspiration. This is what we ended up with, and I don't know about you, but this is definitely giving all of the fall vibes. Even this top with the shades and the browns, like it's just giving fall energy. So yeah, in today's video, not only will I be sharing with you guys how I've been using some of the products that I have reviewed and hauled for you guys recently, as well as some new stuff that I haven't showed you guys just yet, you also are going to be getting a look. So if you want to recreate this for girls night, date night, cute little brunch, whatever the case may be, or just to kind of practice your skills, hopefully this video will be super helpful for you guys. And yeah, I don't want to spend too much on the intro because we need to get into the beat. So if you want to see how I got this look, let's go ahead and get into it. Hey girls, so I am barefaced for the most part. As you can see, I went ahead and prepped my eyes. I just used concealer. I used the Too Faced Born This Way Sculpting Concealer in the shade Sand, which is my highlight shade, to just give us a nice, smooth, even base on the lid to work with. I set that down with the Urban Decay All Nighter Pressed Setting Powder just so that it wouldn't crease. And then I went ahead and applied these little line and define tapes. These are actually from e.l.f. I'll try to link them for you guys down below if I can find them. But of course, everything that I mentioned in this video, I'll go ahead and say if there is a link, it will be down below for you in the description box. So now the eyes are nice and prepped and ready for makeup. We're gonna do some eyeshadow today. So like I mentioned in the intro, I have reviewed a lot of products recently, and I kind of wanted to just run it back and kind of play in some of the stuff that I have reviewed recently. And also, I'm very much in the fall spirit, so I really wanted to do something kind of fall inspired, like, you know, fall soft glam moment. I really was inspired by this Fenty Gloss Bomb. This one is in the shade Sorta Selfish, and it's kind of like a brownish nude kind of color. That's what it looks like. So I really wanted to wear this today and kind of create a look around that. So like the browns, kind of like giving latte makeup a little bit. So that's what we're gonna do today. So I'm gonna start off with the Patrick Ta Major Dimensions eyeshadow palette. This is an all matte eyeshadow palette. And honestly, in my opinion, it's perfect for a soft glam look, especially if you're somebody that likes a lot of matte shades, or if you're just looking for some good transition shades. This is definitely what I would recommend. So I'm gonna start off with the middle neutral brown shade on the top row and go ahead and buff that all throughout the crease. Okay, so next I'm gonna go in with the shade right next to it, this one right here, that kind of lighter beige shade, and I'm gonna go right above that crease shade just to kind of blend out the harsh lines. And this shade really isn't giving too much, but it's just enough to blend out the top of that crease shade. All right, so next we're gonna deepen up the outer V. I'm gonna mix these two shades right here, these darker shades on the top, and I'm gonna go ahead and apply those in the outer corner and blend them probably about halfway onto the lid, but keeping it very low in the crease. Okay, so next is the lid shade, and I kind of want to do like a chocolatey, shimmery brown. So if you're following along with this tutorial, something similar to that, like a little bit of shimmer, but like a chocolate kind of color. I'm gonna go in with this palette from McGrath. This is the Mothership Mega Celestial Odyssey palette, and the shade that I'm gonna be using is this brown right here, if you can see. So it's kind of like a coppery, chocolatey brown. It's giving mocha to me, very much so. So I'm gonna use a flat shader brush, and I'm just gonna go ahead and apply that on the lid, meeting it up with those outer V shades, but not all the way to the inner corner because we're gonna put something else there. Okay, so this is how we're looking so far. You can see the inner corner is still open, and I just kind of blended it a little bit into that outer V matte shade, but not completely all the way over there. And then next, I'm gonna go in with another brown shade, but this one is a little more bronzy, a little more copper. This is another Pat McGrath palette. I'm gonna be going in with this shade right here. And this palette is the Celestial Divinity palette. So the first one was the Celestial Odyssey. This one is Celestial Divinity. And I'm just gonna apply this shade on the inner corner and blend it into that brown that we just put on the lid. All right, so this is how we're looking so far. Also, to kind of save me some time on doing a cut crease in the inner corner, I just kind of use the tip of my brush to carve out the crease with the shimmery eyeshadow that I'm applying. So if you want a more defined look, then you can kind of do it that way. If you want it more blown out, then you can just kind of buff it back and forth into the crease. But I do want to kind of create a little bit of dimension and like structure, I guess is the word I'm looking for, on the eye. So I did use my brush just to kind of carve out that area. But this is what it's giving. It's giving like caramel mocha, is it not? Okay, so next, I think I want to add a little bit of winged liner, but I don't want it to be too harsh. So I'm just gonna use the same palette that I've been using, and it has these cream shades on the top, a brown and a black. So I'm gonna go in with the black, and then I'm gonna kind of buff it out with a mixture of black and brown eyeshadow. So I'm gonna use a little liner brush to apply the cream on my lid, and then I'm gonna go in, like I said, with the eyeshadow and kind of smoke it out a little bit. Okay, so I went ahead and zoomed you guys out a little bit. I also added a lash, so this is how the eyes are looking so far. I'm gonna apologize in advance because I don't know what lashes these are. I just had them in this little lash book where all my random lashes go after I've worn them once or twice. So I will try to find out which lashes these are. More than likely they are an Ardell lash. I just don't remember exactly which one they are. So if I can figure that out, I'll link it for you guys down below. So like I said, I went ahead and zoomed you guys out so that we can start on the complexion. The first thing I'm gonna do, I have my beauty sponge right here already damp. I'm gonna spray it down with some setting spray. This is the Urban Decay All Nighter. And I'm just gonna let that kind of hang out on the side while we prep the face. This is a tip, especially if you are looking to help your makeup last longer, keep it from creasing underneath your eyes, is to use your setting spray on your beauty blender, or your beauty sponge. So I'm just gonna go ahead and spray that down really good, just like on the part that I'm gonna be using to blend, and let it kind of soak that in while I prep the rest of the face. So first up, we're gonna go in with primer. And today I'm gonna be using my Danessa Myricks Yummy Skin Serum. Surprise, surprise. This is a perfect base layer. It feels like skincare on the skin, and it's also gonna help to control oil throughout the day. So next up, to blur the skin, I'm gonna switch it up a little bit for those of you guys that have been watching my videos. I'm gonna try out something new today. This launched recently. This is the Professional Matte Primer. And I've tried this once before, but I wanted to try it again. So I'm gonna go ahead and use this on my T-zone and just any area that I want to blur and smooth. Okay, so you guys can see that definitely instantly blurred and mattified the skin for sure. My skin is not doing the best right now because me and Mother Nature are, we're at odds. We're at our monthly odds. So I do have a couple of breakouts and things on the face, but that primer definitely smoothed, blurred, and kind of picked up any oil that was on my face from my moisturizer. So next up, let's go ahead and go in with foundation. I'm going to be going in with this one from One Size, the Full Beat Foundation. I reviewed this for you guys recently, and I wanted to try it out again today, especially since I'm shaking it up because you have to really shake it up before you apply it to the skin. But especially since we have eyeshadow, we're doing like a full fall glam. This was right on time. If you're interested in the full review and just seeing how it wore after like 7-8 hours, I will link that video for you guys at the end of this one. But for today, I'm just going to use it as part of my base. And I also believe in that review, I didn't actually show you guys the full routine. So today you'll actually be able to see in real time how all the other products layer on top. So I'm gonna go ahead and apply this to the face and blend it out with a brush. So next up, I'm going to do a little bit of color correction and concealing underneath the eyes. For that, first, I'm going to go in with my e.l.f. Putty Color Correcting Eye Brightener. I'm going to go ahead and apply that underneath my eyes where I have a little bit of darkness. And then I'm going to go in with the One Size Turn Up the Base Concealer in the shade Dark 1 and use that to further conceal underneath the eyes. So next up is our Brightening Concealer. Today I'm going to use the Yummy Skin Lift and Flex Concealer. I have mine in the shade number 10. I believe I've shared this with you guys before, but I don't know how many times I've used it on camera. So I figured I would use it today. So I'm going to go ahead and apply this in the usual places that I conceal and blend it out. Okay, so I do think I want a little bit more brightness under the eye, but I'm not going to add any more product. I'm just going to do it with powder a little bit later. Speaking of which, I'm going to go ahead and set the face, and I'm actually going to be using another new product that I got recently. This is the Benefit the Professional Power Powder Loose Setting Powder. This one is in the shade Translucent. I think there's only one shade so far, if I'm not mistaken. But this is the Matte and Blur Loose Setting Powder. So I'm going to go ahead and apply this all over the face to set everywhere that we apply concealer, and then we'll go ahead and do the brows. Okay, so I use that to set, but I'm not going to use it to bake because I do want to brighten up underneath my eyes just a little bit. So for that, I'm going to go in with my Huda Beauty Banana Bread setting powder. And I'm just going to put a little bit of that in the areas that I want to brighten before I fill in the brows. All right, so we're gonna go ahead and let that hang out on the face. While that's baking, I'm gonna do my brows. I'm gonna use my usual besties, the Benefit Goof Proof and the Precisely My Brow, to go ahead and fill in and shape the brows. Okay, brows are on. They're not perfect, but they will do. So now I'm gonna go ahead and dust off this extra powder. I'm actually gonna pat it in, kind of dust and pat the powder in because I want to keep the brightness that we had there, but also want to get rid of any excess powder. And I'm also going to take whatever is on the brush and just lightly tap over my brows and underneath my brows to set that concealer that I just used to shape them. Okay, so before I move on to the rest of the face, I want to go ahead and just finish up my lower lash line. I'm going to use the same palette, and I think I'm just going to actually, I'm going to take the brown shade, this dark brown right here that we used to smoke out the liner, and I'm going to mix in just a little bit of black, and I'm going to press that along the bottom lash line about halfway into the inner corner. Okay, and then I'm going to take a tiny little blender brush. This is the Morphe E36. You can see it's super tiny, and I'm going to pick up a little bit of this shade right here because I don't want to go too dark, and I may even mix in a little bit of this one, and I'm going to use that to kind of buff that out on the lower lash line so that it won't be a harsh line. Okay, cute. I'll be honest, I was a little bit nervous about this look. I think it's just because I haven't done glam and eyeshadow in such a long time, and it doesn't all come together until you get your base on. So trust the process. If you do your eyes first, just trust the process, because I was feeling a little bit like, I don't know about this look. But now that I have my foundation and everything on, it's coming together. Okay, so I also just realized I have already set my entire face, and I did have some cream products out that I was gonna use, the Too Faced bronzer and the LYS blushes, but I completely forgot, so we'll save these. I have used these in a previous video, but we'll just save them for another day, and we'll stick to powders today. So first up, I'm just gonna go ahead and set the rest of my face. For that, I'm gonna use this Too Faced powder. This is the Born This Way Soft Blur Flexible Finish and Setting Powder, and I have mine in the shade Tan. Since we're already working with a pretty full coverage base, I don't necessarily feel like I need to go in with a powder foundation, so we'll just use this setting powder instead. Okay, so just a quick moment for the skin. Again, I do have some little breakouts going on, but outside of that, I feel like the skin is looking pretty good. So now I'm gonna go ahead and go in with bronzer. I'm gonna be using this one from One Size. I picked this up recently, and then I also picked up this blush, which has a cream a cream blush in it that I was gonna use as well. I was trying to decide which cream I was gonna do. But again, since we've already set the face and I don't wanna mess up the base, I'm gonna skip the cream. But I may still use the blush, the powder blush and the shimmery blush in here. We'll see. But I am gonna use the bronzer. I have the shade Medium Dark, the Medium Dark Trio, and I really kind of just mix them all together. So that's exactly what I'm gonna do and go ahead and bronze the skin. All right, so next is blush. And again, I feel like we have a very bronzy vibe going on the face. So I'm trying to decide if this blush is giving or not. Because I also pulled out some of my MAC blushes that I was thinking about using. And I don't know, do we want to just go full on bronze or do we want to add in a little bit? I wish you guys, like, I could hear your answers because I literally don't know what to do. Okay, so I think what I'm gonna do is I'm going to use, because I feel like the matte color in this shade is a little too like reddish cranberry, and that's not really what I'm going for. So I think, but I do like the shimmer in here, so maybe we'll use that. And I think I'm gonna go in with one of my MAC blushes instead. And I think I'm gonna stick with the bronzy vibes. So I'm gonna use, I think I'm gonna use Format. So I have this blush palette and I have all the shades on the back, because one time I used one of these blushes and I couldn't remember what the shades were. And also some of you guys have asked for all the shades that are in here, which I think I posted before, I don't remember. But I'm gonna go in with this one, which is in the shade Format. And I'm gonna use that as my blush today. Okay, see, it's kind of giving like bronzer as blush, which is like a fall trend happening right now, which was part of why I bought this, because I feel like these shades kind of give bronzer on me, but I didn't want to go so red tone. So this is what the blush is giving. It's like, it's giving a little bit, but not too much, which is what I was going for. But I do still think I'm gonna go into the shimmery shade on here, and I will have the shade of this linked for you guys down below. So I'm just gonna pick up a little bit of the shimmer because I mostly just want the color of it, but yeah, I don't want too much. That is gorgeous. Okay, so this side versus this side, stunning. So not too much, not too much, just enough to give us a little bit of color, but again, not too much. And then I'm just gonna take my powder brush and just go over it lightly so it's not too shimmery, because we're kind of accentuating our little breakouts here. But just gonna go over that a little bit. And then for highlighter today, I'm not gonna switch out my highlighter. This has been my go-to ride or die since summertime, basically since these came out. This is the Fenty Beauty Yum Rum highlighter. I am obsessed with this. The shade is Yum Rum, I mean. This is the Demi Glow Light Diffusing Highlighter. This is just gorgeous. It looks beautiful on my complexion. They have several different shades, I think like 6 or 7. So you definitely should be able to find your perfect shade. But this one right here looks gorgeous on my complexion. Okay, I went ahead and popped some mascara on my bottom lash line. I used this one from Benefit. This is their Real Magnet mascara in the shade Black. And then last but not least, to finish this off, is the lip, which is what inspired this whole makeup look. So the first thing I'm gonna do is line my lips with the Fenty Traced Out Lip Liners. I'm gonna be using a mixture of the shades Extra Thigh and I Wouldn't. And then on top of that, I'm going in with the gloss sticks in the shade Sorta Selfish, and then right in the middle, a little bit of Tulip Kiss. Okay, so last but not least, we're gonna set the face. I'm gonna go in first with the Charlotte Tilbury setting spray just to lock everything in and melt everything together. And then I'm gonna finish off with the One Size setting spray to really lock it in and keep everything in place. All right, y'all, so this is the finished face. What do we think? What's it giving? I don't know about y'all, but this is very much putting me in the fall spirit. Like these chocolates, like it's giving the leaves turning colors, falling off the trees. It's giving caramel, cinnamon, dolce. Oh, it's giving all the vibes. I am obsessed with the way that this looks and the way that it came out. It has been a minute, and I know I say this every time that I come on here and I do full glam, but girl, we've been in our clean girl era, but fall has got your girl back in her glam bag. But y'all let me know what you think about this look down below. Do you guys want to see more fall makeup looks using more products? Like, let me know what's tea. I was initially supposed to be doing like a soft glam look, which I guess this is kind of giving soft glam. So maybe I'll still title it that. If you're watching this, you already know what the title is, but maybe I could do like a fall clean girl look where it's giving like some of the same vibes but a little bit lighter. You guys let me know what you want to see, and just like, are we into tutorials? Are we into the glam? I feel like it's definitely making a comeback, and looking back at my older videos, I definitely used to be giving the glam realness on this channel. So let me know if you guys want to see more tutorials like this. Even though I do feel like this is giving like full beat, full glam, I also feel like it's still very much wearable. Like it's not doing too much. Like this could be girls' night out, date night, cute little brunch. You know what I mean? Like it's still giving fresh skin, but very much still matte because I am oily, and I'm confident that this face would last me throughout the day if I was actually about to go out. I mean, I might go somewhere because somebody needs to see this. The face is eating. But yeah, like I said, let me know what you guys think. Per usual, I will have all of the links to everything that I shared with you guys in today's video listed and linked for you guys down below. Give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it, and if you haven't already and you made it to the end of the video, girl, go ahead and join the fam by clicking the subscribe button. I would love to have you, and it'll also make sure that you receive notifications whenever I upload new videos. So yeah, thank you so much again for watching. Don't forget to let me know what y'all think down below. Do we want more of these or not? And I'll see you guys very soon in my next video.